Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Eagle Eye Podcast, episode 59. One away from a big 6-0, but I don't know why these two gentlemen are laughing behind me if we're over here under
How are
some
we
great
behind
situation.
you?
How are we behind you?
What? I mean, think
That
about
just
it.
sounds
Kind of.
wrong. That just sounds
Oh,
wrong.
I can't.
Anyways,
I can't today. I'm out. I'm out.
hello.
You guys can host this on your own.
man.
Finally,
Fine.
Dylan, come
All
on,
right,
take over.
Cowboy Dan Takeover. Welcome to episode 59 of the Eagle Eye Podcast. I'm be your host today, and let me introduce my two co-hosts. Christian, I'll start with you since
Okay,
you're not being like Ivan being petty about it. Christian, how you
Mhm.
doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. It's gonna snow tomorrow here in New York. I'm kind of excited for that. Go outside, build a snowman. A little bit sad over the weekend, but I think good things are to come.
That's good. That's good. Well, we got a lot to talk about today as we're going to talk about the devastating defeat to Pumas, a 1-0 loss. We're also going to be talking about Lady Aguilas that after they got their nice little win, that Ivan was like, we should start maybe pushing the panic button a little bit and just
That
kind
is
of
such a
tapping
lie.
it. Just
That is
kind
such
of
a lie.
go. Okay, let's everybody go to the episode. Ivan, done with you. Done with you.
You know what I will say? That was pretty good. You got. I think you got to peep on my show notes before we started.
You're right.
That's pretty good. I like that.
No, but as Cowboy Dan said it perfectly. We got lots to talk about. We're gonna break down that 1-0 defeat against Pumas. We all have a lot to say about that one, and a lot went wrong. And I think the one person we need to blame here is America themselves.
Oh,
Ivan
definitely.
Pineda. Oh shoot.
Oh.
Dang it.
Well,
God.
if we're talking about superstitions, then yes, I will. This one will go up to me, and it's because I was only up for 2 hours. I only had 2 hours of sleep, so you know.
Guys, breaking
Uh,
news. Wait, hold up. Breaking news. I got my candy cane open, so we're good now.
but we're also gonna be talking Lady Aguilas. I think the only thing that if we're talking about America in perspective this weekend, I think it's the only thing that we actually get to be happy about because Dylan, you and I watched that game. Christian, I know you watched that game as well because you saw that guy's Real Madrid patch fall off his jersey,
Yeah.
um, which was hilarious.
Hmm.
Um, you know what, they walked away with 3 points, and they actually looked pretty decent, after, like Dylan so nicely put it, I was questioning whether or not we should start maybe asking questions about this team, and then of course the ladies riled back up, and they definitely started using that hashtag fuera Ivan hashtag that Dylan just put out. But you know, it was good, but it was a bittersweet also win because of Diana as well, who's going to be missing the rest of the clausura. We'll
Oh
touch a little
yeah.
bit more about it and everything. But yeah, gentlemen, we ready to get started?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're ready. Let's lock and load and rock and roll on our way over here. Well, we're going to start off. Well, we should always start off. America lost against Pumas in what was a very, very terrible game. I mean, do you guys have maybe one word to sum it up? Dylan, you seem ecstatic about it. Go shoot, shoot, shoot.
Why am I
I don't know. You just seem
ecstatic
really
about a
excited.
loss? I don't know. Maybe because I played basketball for this and like I'm just like
No, I tell you guys why Dylan is excited because I don't know if you guys have been seeing the rumors that have been flying around Twitter about how America lost this game on purpose because there was money behind it, because there was all this propaganda and this and that. Well, Dylan was getting a nice paycheck from Televisa
Mhm.
because of this loss. So, what do you
why
got
you
to
gonna
say
throw
to
me under the
yourself?
bus like that?
Throw you under, I'm throwing you over it. People need to know this.
I'm
The
about to
game was
just leave this.
disappointing. That's my word, disappointing. But I feel like I've been
I don't
using
even
it too much, so I
I
have
don't
to
even
come
know
up
how
with
to
a new word.
describe. I don't even know how to describe this game.
Oh, pathetic. We can use pathetic as well.
Pathetic's good.
That's pathetic.
That's a
Yeah.
little strong.
No, it's not.
No.
For our podcast, that's a bit strong.
Mm. They've been pathetic. No
Yeah,
heart,
look,
no
I think
passion.
at the end of the day, we could use as many synonyms and adjectives as we want about this, but it wasn't a good game in all retrospects. You got to take in consideration as well the heat. That played a part as well. Not to say that's an excuse, because in no way are we the type of people to even make up an excuse for this team. But you have to take that in consideration. I think Pumas was a little bit more adapted to that. And our players just weren't there. Just absolutely weren't there. I mean, 90 minutes go, you see the results. What's the first thing that pops into your head, Dylan?
The first thing that popped in my head was disappointment. Really, um, no excuses, no heart, nothing was flowing.
Okay, just
Um,
start stealing my words. Thank you.
yeah, it's just still everything. I mean, because it's the truth. Like I think we can all agree to that.
One thought that came to my head after the game, change the tactics because it's not working.
Okay.
Nico shouldn't have started and should have played the whole 90 minutes.
Yeah, he shouldn't have.
No, and I think it's fair to say, and a good friend Kadi said Nico wasn't ready to start. Very quite wasn't really quite game ready, and neither was neither was he about to win for me. I think he could have done a little bit more if he came in maybe in the second half.
Right.
I don't know. There's a lot of things to dissect here, and we're gonna try to start. Where I think we should start in, like we always do at the beginning of the game. Um, I felt that America did okay, relatively okay. It was a bit choppy. It was, a couple of fouls here and there, the ball going out of bounds. The game took a while for it to get into the rhythm. And I think America closed out the first half pretty well, you know. I think they did things right. I think Pumas had an opportunity at the end there with a corner, but I think America did its best to kind of contain them. We pushed forward. We had a little bit of an opportunity here and there, but we definitely did not look like the same team come second half.
No, I think we were. I think decent is kind of nice. I think we were decent in the first half. Just kind of like you said, it was real choppy. Like that first half, like you see the team like kind of there. You kind of seeing some good stuff going on between the team, and then there was times where just like, what is this team doing? And they seem to have no discipline. It seemed to have no structure. Like you like to use Ivan, and it's just kind of that back and forth the whole first half, and you're just like, well, at least they're somewhat being consistent, going back and forth to doing what they're trying to do. But I mean, it just wasn't working. It wasn't enough.
It was not at all. In
Mm-mm.
in in, in no case was it enough. Christian, touch a little bit more on this whole tactic situation. What do you think went wrong? What did you see wrong in the first half, and then in the second?
Well, in the first half, we see Pumas have a 66 possession rate, and it's surprising because, well, then again, it's not surprising because America recently has, ever since the final against Cruz Azul, we've been playing with two contenciones and Guido Rodriguez and Edson Alves, so they're playing a little bit more back. Like me and you, Ivan, I touched on this. Guido and Edson don't really have that like offensive push that when they get the ball, they like to like, go out and like create a chances. They really don't have that. So they like to stay a little bit more back, just give it out to the wings and then let them do everything. And I think that's where it kind of killed us because Pumas did something that Leon did very well. And that was kind of like really, really limit our wingers. And because they know that Edson and Guido don't really have that offensive push, then they're not really that concerned with them. So they weren't really pressuring that much. So that was the bad part, and I really would have liked Miguel Herrera to change up the formation come second half. I mean, he did, but it was way too late. Right after, just when he saw the team just kind of shut down and like not really try, I guess, at all, or just seem frustrated because nothing was going their way. It was a little bit too late to change the formation, but yeah, I think America was just playing way too back, and we just need more creativity from somewhere instead of the wings.
Yeah, I think you look at this team now, and yes, we're reluctant. We're very reluctant to even go down the middle at times. And I think that's the lack of that cam position that you've mentioned upon. And you know, it's kind of sad because you see two very good wingers in Renato Ibarra and Ibargüen, but just the two of them haven't had the best game in the past two games.
Mm-hmm.
Um, excuse me. You look at a player like Renato Ibarra, someone who I've praised on here and who I've stuck my neck out, not have the best of games either. He was running, yes, and he has a good work ethic, but it just seems like he was he couldn't find a way around his marker. He couldn't find a way around his defenders. His crossing wasn't on point, and then the same goes with Ibargüen. I think he tried taking on 1-2 players, just wasn't working. He had a couple of decent crosses. Let's not forget that he had a couple good crosses here and there that America just wasn't able to connect with. And as I'm saying this, Dylan, it reminds me a lot of a conversation we've been having for quite some time now, and it's we're not taking our chances when we get them.
No, no. I mean, like, you had some clear ones. I mean, like, be honest, you really did have some clear ones. It either went straight to Salivar or it just didn't find its way on goal, and that's what sucks.
And I mean, at that point, you can't blame anyone but yourself because they had one.
Yeah,
They had one. That's literally they had their one off a corner, and it went in. And I think me and you, Dylan, we spoke about this is the fact that in that corner kick, you see Bruno Valdez get called ball watching. You see Nico Castillo, if he was about 3 centimeters taller, he would have reached that. And it was just all these things go wrong. Paul Aguilar also called ball watching, and no one picked up their man. And another thing, do you guys remember seeing anyone in first post?
no,
No.
yeah. I remember you. I remember you mentioned that there was nobody there.
So I mean,
Yeah.
one mistake in the game, and it costs you the 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, a lot needs to change. A lot has to go better.
Yeah.
Defensively, I felt that we were a little bit all over the place sometimes.
Yeah,
I mean, it just seemed that everyone struggled in this game, and
Mm-hmm.
everyone seemed to find it hard
Yeah.
to actually go and push forward. And I don't know if it was because of the weather or if it was just internal. I really don't know what the situation is.
I
You
mean,
know?
you can't really. I mean, yeah, the weather has something to do with it, but let's be honest. In the past 6 games, including Copa MX, this is our fourth loss, and we've only won two. We have a 2-4 record in our last 6 games, so I think that kind of speaks volumes of I guess the form of this team, and something's just not clicking right. And you would think by now Herrera would have figured it out or something, but it's a little bit concerning. Now that we're reaching the midway of the season, and this is when things start to get a little bit dicey. Teams start to separate from the table, and we're not looking good right now.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what the craziest thing is if you look at this team stacked up next to this Pumas team, I think we had the better team,
Oh,
right?
100%.
Right?
mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that, and I'm bringing that up is because I feel that as much as blame as Piojo needs to take for this, because he does have responsibility to take on this because he is the manager. I think the people that need to take the most responsibility of this is the team itself. I think Piojo plants this team correctly to go out and do the job from the get-go. Sure, things don't go well, and that's his job to adapt and make the team adapt from there. But if you look at the team he took out, if you look at the players that were on that pitch, there was no reason for us to play the game that we played, as terrible as we played. And our listener, our good friend right here, Mr. FWC Chucho, puts it perfectly. It says a lot of individualism going on the pitch. America has to play as a team, and it's something I spoke to you, Dylan, about as well. Is the fact that you look at this team and you look at the way we played, and there was no self identity as a team. There's a lot of individual players trying to do
Yeah,
individual moves, individual plays, and make themselves the hero in that situation. And that's the worst thing you could do as a team, because this is a sport where 11 players come together to play as one. And if it's 11 players playing for themselves, then you're never going to go anywhere. You're never going to make it far. And that's the thing with this team. The situation has been that America, they won this recent title, because they played as a team. We said that they were playing as a unit. They were looking like a well-oiled machine. They were knowing what they were playing. They were doing the things that they needed to do. Now, this time around, it looks like it's just a bunch of players out there who have never played for each other. They don't know exactly who they're playing for, but they said, you know what? I know I'm good enough, so give me the ball and I'm gonna try to do something. And you can't go into games like that, especially against a Clásico, because you're never going to get anywhere. You're not going to get far. And individual talent will only do so much when a collective team unit can do even more.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Definitely.
think that's what's the most frustrating part about it, is because you can't blame anyone. You can't blame the rest for this. You can't blame a wild, crazy, you know, um, you know, I don't even know what the word is. You could only blame yourself. You can only blame the team, because they didn't show up. They didn't play as a team. So I mean, well, what more could you even say? But the blame has to fall on America,
Mhm.
100%.
Right.
And
And
it's you didn't see any improvement from the Leon game,
no.
and now you're going up against Pumas. You lose against Pumas, and now I wouldn't be surprised if America loses against Lobos.
Yeah, especially the recent. I mean, we haven't said that. Well, I'm not gonna say Lobos Buap has been phenomenal, but they haven't been bad at all. They've been picking up some interesting wins here and there, and they're not another pushover team. We can't take them lightly, and it's gonna be very interesting coming Saturday what we present.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. You know, so aside from the goal that we concede, anything else that you guys saw during the game that you were just like, yeah, this is not, I'm not liking this. I'm just not liking this.
Um, not pitch wise, no, not on the pitch. I mean, it was just a mess all over, really.
Mm-hmm. I think I touched it on before. It's just the double contention thing. I just don't think that it's meant for us anymore. Especially we have so much offensive talent and presence that we can utilize, and I think we're just wasting that extra spot. I would have liked to see Benedetti come in earlier. I think he had a couple good chances. He had two shots that I guess would have been that were very dangerous. But he looked that he wanted the ball a lot. He was very very into the game, and he seems like an interesting player that can create something. I think that's what we need because we've been lacking creativity, especially from our quote unquote best player in offense, Renato Ibarra, who has been shut down these past couple games. So you kind of need that like that fresh air, that somebody new that can provide something.
No, yeah, I agree, and I think it's one thing that you can take away from this game is the fact that when Benedetti came on, he looked like he could be a real difference maker. He had a good opportunity, which he wasn't
Hmm.
able to come, kind of, take it away. Then he had another good opportunity where he took a shot that was well wide, and you saw himself get frustrated at himself and yell at
Yeah.
himself because he knew he needs to do better. And then it's a great thing because you know that this guy's at least coming to play. You know that he wants to come play. So I mean, ultimately, he's the one thing that maybe you can walk away with and say, you know what, that was pretty decent, something to look forward to. But at the end of the day, um, there's not much that you can actually rave home about. There's nothing positive to take away from this except the fact that we have a good player in Benedetti, and the quicker he
Mhm.
can adapt to this team, the better that we're gonna be for it. Because, like you said, I think you need someone to take the load, the pressure off of Renato Ibarra. If you have someone, and Mateus Oribe used to be that player, that
Mhm.
used to be able to help Renato Ibarra in those situations, kind of be a little creative and be a little bit offensive. And if you have someone like Benedetti come in and kind of move things around, then you possibly see that Renato Ibarra be a little bit more free, a little bit more loose, which means he's going to be a little bit uh, more offensive and a little bit more clinical in the way that he goes about orchestrating our attack.
Yeah,
At the end of the
definitely.
at the end of the day, we'll have to wait and see whether or not that comes to fruition. But yeah, nothing much to rave home about. Nothing much to take away from this. America loses. We have to accept the fact that Pumas played the better game in this, and we made a lot of mistakes in that cost us, a goal,
Yeah.
cost us, a little bit of our confidence.
Mhm.
And now we'll have to see whether or not, I said it last podcast too. The players are saying the right thing to the media, but they're not producing the right
Never do.
results on the pitch.
Exactly. And I think you touched on it perfectly. I think we need to see a change coming this coming Saturday, and it's gonna be interesting to see what we think and what Herrera will actually put out because I could switch a couple players here and there and maybe it can make a difference, but it all comes down to Herrera and see what he's gonna do on Saturday.
Yeah, yeah, and a lot of people are saying in the chat too. The team has been disrupted from the moment that we became champions to right now. The team has been disrupted big time. You have injuries, you have people leaving, crucial players. Um, you know, like a Linus or Cecilio Dominguez would have made a huge difference in this game. Maybe even in Salrunde, who's starting to get his form and his shape. at least he was around the team already. He already knew, he had 6 months under his belt. He knew exactly what was asked of him. Um, and then you see someone like maybe Uribe Peralta, who, if he was playing, could have maybe been a difference maker. I know, Dylan, you touched upon this with me as well. How many times, like you mentioned, we criticized Uribe Peralta for being that kind of natural leader, natural, that person to push on and motivate the players. And you don't see him these past couple of games, and you kind of see the effect that he's had on this team.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree most definitely too. And you don't get that from Pau Aguilar, which sucks. It really does. You don't really get that from him. And I don't know. I know we talked about it too in previous podcasts, but I'd really like to see Marchesín get the armband for once. Like I really do. But
You know what? I don't think much is
I don't
seen
think we ever
captain
will.
quality.
You don't think so?
That's interesting. I think he is.
I
Yeah.
think he's just a yeller, and people will confuse that sometimes for leadership.
No, I know where you're
No, no,
coming
no.
from, but it does seem like he has that sort of like passion and like that like that mind for the game. It
He
you kind
does.
of see it. You kind of see it throughout the match, and I mean he obviously not right now. I wouldn't switch the captain role like right now mid season because that'd be a terrible
Yeah.
decision. But I don't know. Much seen if it were up to me, maybe one game in I don't know Copa Mekis. I don't know. He could try as captain. I mean, it wouldn't be such a bad idea.
When you think of a goalkeeper as a captain, think of two players, and I don't specifically want you to think of their talent. I want you to think of how they compose themselves on the pitch and how much they were a leader. Think of it. Two recent players, Gianluigi Buffon and Iker Casillas.
Mm-hmm.
Think about how they went about being leaders on the pitch, and tell me if Marchesín fits that same criteria.
I mean, you're right. I mean, like he does get a little bit frustrated as well when there's a bad play. He starts getting he starts letting his anger out at his defender. So I can see where the composure side of a captain comes in there. No, yeah, you make a good point. I don't know. I just think Manchester just has that mind for this game and for this team, and I
I
feel
think he
like
could bring out the passion in the team. I
I
definitely
feel
think
like
he can.
yeah, I feel like he knows like the objective and like what certain people need to do and how to get it out of them.
Dylan?
Yeah. No, I agree. Like I kind of see where you're coming from too. It's just that something got to give. You got to shake it. You got to shake it up somehow. You got to see if the team are on their feet. They like the switch or not. I feel like everybody on the team respects Marchesín at least, and like nobody's come from and like sees like. I know there's a difference between like yelling and taking your frustration between that and passion, but like I think Marchesín like really feels the colors compared to a lot of other players on the team. That's why I'm kind of thinking like it'd be interesting to see if Marchesín to get the armband one day.
If you want to just completely switch it up and flip people on their head, just start Clemente and give him the armband, right?
Mm. A lot. It's funny because after seeing Ibargüen's performance, which I guess I don't know if you guys want to talk about it, but I think he did a much better job than Ibarra. People were saw him and then they were like, "Oh, let's bring back Clemente. Clemente's so much better." But then people don't realize what they're saying because Clemente has been nothing but below average these games that we've been giving him the chances.
Look, I mentioned to you guys this in the transfer window. I said if we lose Cecilio Dominguez and if we lose Diego Lainez, we need to bring in a left winger.
Yeah, no,
That's
you're
a
right.
must. And we didn't.
We
Now
didn't.
we have to cope with Ibargüen, who has been spotty for the past 6 months for us.
Spotty, yes.
And we have to deal with a youngster who isn't even a left winger to begin with,
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. He is a
because
midfielder.
I don't know why
Center
he
mid.
does not want to play Tony Lopez on that side. But we just have to deal with it this whole season. That's gonna be our weak spot, and we just have to accept it.
But
I
knowing that that's
to
our weak
me,
spot, we need to find something else, no? Or
In regard to what?
some other way to create a chance or something.
just put Luis Reyes there. It's great.
Actually, I wouldn't mind putting Jorge Sanchez there.
What do we got to lose at this point?
With
A
what?
lot.
That's true. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just tossing ideas out there now.
Oh man.
Food for thought, like our good friend
Benedetti,
Carlos Diaz
I just don't like the
mentioned.
idea of playing Benedetti on the wing when his greatest greatest position, or
Strong
where
suit.
he can shine the most is the center mid position. You know, the cam position.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
we have a big dilemma there, and
Yeah.
there's no doubt about it. There's no easy fix. There's no easy fix. No way at all. Is there an easy fix this season? We're gonna struggle there. We have to accept it, and we just have to hope that Clemente or Ibargüen step up to the pitch. As simple as that.
Mhm. You're right. You know,
That's
and
it.
we also got to give him some time. You know, this is Andres Ibargüen's first game starting back after an injury. Nico Castillo's first full game in like 6 months. So like, you know, there it needs to be some time there. We talked about this too. We talked about this adaptation period that was gonna come with the refuerzos, and this is it, guys. This is the adaptation period. We're gonna have to cope with it and try to get the results in. I'm not saying that the next few games are a walk in the park, but they're definitely not the strongest games. So we should be able to find some improvement in these games. Um, it all just depends how fast these players can recover and how fast they can adapt.
Okay, so quickly we'll end we'll end the review on this note. We said that yes, the adaptation period is about 6 months. Benedetti has that 6 months, but looks like he'll be ready within a month.
Yeah,
Nico Castillo, we said he does not get the liberty of getting 6 months because he knows the league, he knows the altitude, he knows the city. So we expect him to be ready in a month,
right.
especially after all the trouble we went to go sign for him.
Hmm.
So yes, there's an adaptation period, but remember, this is a shorter adaptation period than we gave Roger because we know what Nico Castillo is capable of. Because he wanted to come because all of the the mayhem that was going on to try to bring him in,
Yeah.
and we know that he's played here before, so
Hmm.
he gets a short adaptation period, and he's acknowledged that as well. So it's a month from now, and yes, it's still within that month period. So yes, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but time's a ticking, and we
Hmm.
need him to start producing 2 or 3 weeks from now.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Um, no, I completely agree. It's just, but I mean, in order, I guess for me, for Benedetti's case, because I think Nico Castillo will keep starting. He needs to start some games in Benedetti. That is, I think if he starts starting a couple games here and there, I think you'll see a much, I guess, faster adaptation. I don't know if you guys agree with that.
Yeah. I think he just needs minutes, and
Yeah.
he'll pick things up real quickly.
Mhm. So I mean, we'll talk about it later when we talk about our lineup. But I would like to see him starting this Saturday.
We'll see. That's a possibility.
Hmm.
That's a big possibility. All right, we'll leave it at that. 1-0, disappointing. And should we even touch bases on what happened with Piojo and the fake reporter, or should we just leave it at that?
Nah, let's just leave it at that. I mean, I really don't want to get into that. This is just Piojo drama again.
Really? Because I don't think he was at fault.
No, he wasn't at fault, but I mean, it's just Piojo drama.
Yeah, whenever Piojo is involved in something, I guess you can put it and hashtag Piojo drama.
Hmm.
That would be a great segment on any newsletter. The hashtag Piojo drama column. But we'll leave it at that. America loses the Clásico Capitolino, and unfortunately, we are now down in 11th. Is that correct?
We are
Yes.
11th, yes.
Which is terrible, terrible. Well, we'll touch bases again on America on the men's side. We're gonna switch over and shift our attention to the ladies' game. But before that, Christian, I believe it's everyone's favorite time of the day. It's trivia time. Why don't you let these people what the question of the day is?
Of course. Today's question was brought to you by Mr. Ivan. So everyone would like to thank Ivan for this question because I couldn't think of anything. Um, today's trivia question is against against what team?
Oh damn. I my mouse was like stuck, so I couldn't really mute myself. I was like, I'm gonna go as far away as possible.
Oh, you're
But
good.
go.
You're good. You're good. The question is against what team did Cuauhtémoc Blanco debut his famous doggy celebration? Ivan, if you would kindly put that in the chat so people can start answering. And that
Ay,
is today's question.
oh man, dude, I think you said that the team was what'd you say the team was again?
Saprissa.
Saprissa, who are looking to maybe steal an upset against Tigres right now. Isn't that right, Christian?
Yeah, they already won.
Yeah,
Oh,
they won.
what?
They already won 1-0. And Toronto got their their behinds kicked a little bit today. as
A
well.
little bit. They got demolished 4-0.
Just a little Champions League update for you guys. The real Champions League, not that European crap that you
With that
guys watch.
European fake
Yeah. So
stuff,
So yeah, that
which
is.
will be in next season, and that's something to consider when talking about summer and transfers and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, because we will be in that next season. You're right. That is true. I totally forgot about that. Sorry, Ivan. Don't worry.
But yeah, all right. So that's your trivia question, guys. Make sure you guys go and answer that. You guys have the hour, and then how's the scoreboard going?
The scoreboard should be up by this weekend. And yeah, that's the latest on that.
All right, all right. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on into our next segment as the time keeps rolling. Lady Aguilas. So, God, I'm so sorry. I'm a little bit sick, so I'm trying to make sure I don't cough on in the show. But like I was saying, the ladies walk away with 3 points against group leaders Pachuca. We mentioned that this game was going to be important. We mentioned that this game was probably going to be the game to watch, and it definitely was. I was excited when they announced that Univision Deportes was going to be broadcasting this live for the U.S. public. Dylan, I mean, we saw a very good game. We saw a very entertaining game. The ladies definitely made me think that my criticisms were in the wrong, and they came out and they proved that not only could they score goals, not only could they play a good game, but they still look like a very, very contending side.
Mm-hmm.
Ivan, I'm just gonna sit in silence and let you eat your words for a little bit.
Hey, he's in silence
I'm
right now.
I'm over here sick right now, you know.
Ivan. Where do I even start with this? Where do I even start? Oh man, it's just this overall a good game for the ladies. Overall good game, especially I mean, because like let's be honest, Pachuca had some chances too, but Cecilia came up big in net. Um, um, just really, what can you say? Cecilia big in net. The defense was there when needed at times. Um, you see the girls play good in the midfield. Just at times, again, Cuevas just like that lone striker trying to take on four defenders, and she can't do that all the time, which I still kind of have questions about that. But overall, a really great game. I mean, they even camped. What's that one Pachuca's player? That's really good. Monica Ocampo? No, I don't remember. Something like that. Even I mean, she wasn't even that big a factor in the game for Pachuca.
Yeah, she wasn't. She was relatively quiet. You know, it was interesting to see this team gel so well against a very good side, and a lot of people came thinking that Pachuca's gonna come and demolish them. They won their last two games 3-0 and this and that, and I mean it's incredible that they were the underdogs in this situation, and they came out and they said, no, this is our home territory, this is our home, and they completely showcased as to why they're the champions.
Yes, most definitely too. I think I'm first though, technically, since it's goal differential. I think
They're still
so.
first, but
Yeah,
I mean, you're still away just by a couple of goals. Obviously,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Pachuca's offense in the past couple of games were ridiculous. I think they won their last three games 3-0, so they were like up by 12 goals or something like that. I'm not too sure, but we only had 8 at the time being. So I think it was
hmm
important that the ladies walked away with a clean sheet. You know.
Yeah, not just that, but just yeah, I'm just scoring goals. So what was the last two games we didn't score one
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
it was a draw to Veracruz and then the loss to Pumas.
Yep,
So
exactly.
yeah,
So we were
yeah,
we were scoreless at that point.
yeah, that was real important to score. And like you said, get that clean sheet. Cecilia continues to prove to be why she should be starting. But nevertheless, if she gets called up or she goes down, JD is a very good backup too.
JD is really good, and I think we'll see a time where Cecilia leaves the side, um, and then of course JD has uh has a lot of years ahead of her. She is what I think she's only well, how old is my cousin? He is
She's
18.
either 17 or 18.
She's gonna turn 18, I believe. because
Yeah.
my cousin's 18.
Thanks.
My cousin went to school with her. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think that she has a long career potentially ahead of herself in the America goal.
Yeah. Yeah. Most definitely.
So that's phenomenal. Christian, you saw, I know you were at work, but you were still able to catch a couple of this game. But what did you see that kind of caught your attention from these ladies?
I think it was just the rebuttal that they have after our loss last week. It was good to see that they kind of found a little bit of structure with them. They had a little bit of offensive creativity, which I enjoyed watching for the little snips that I did. It just seems like they're kind of back on track. Everything's flowing a little bit, and I think we're 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 getting back to the form that we need to be in order to contend.
Yeah, I think they're starting to move the ball a lot much better. They're playing as a team, unlike the men, and then it
Yeah,
really shows. It really
yeah, it
shows.
did.
So congratulations to the ladies. Of course, we have to touch upon this because it is a huge loss. Unfortunately, Diana has gone down with a serious injury. Dylan, do you know specifically what the injury is?
Yeah. Her ACL. She tore it.
Yikes.
Oh my gosh! And you know what? You're never, ever, ever are the same after that, are you?
Never.
Yeah.
You're
Um,
never 100% again.
Mm-mm.
Not
I
even
mean, Cowboy
mentally.
Dan can attest to this. He's ripped his ACL about 4 times.
Hey, you need to chill out.
Yeah. Oh man.
Okay, no, but we wish Diana the best, and hopefully she can come back and you know, still be the same player that she is because she's a very important player. She's very crucial. I mean, she scored phenomenal goals. She's been a part of so many good plays for America. She's very important to this team, and this is a big loss, a tremendous big loss. Of course, we do have a very good, talented bench that could come in and fill her spot, but really, I don't think there's someone like her in this America side. So I think she will definitely be missed.
Yeah. And she scored that penalty too. Yeah.
Yeah,
That penalty, which really got things going at that point in the game. And so, just like you said, big loss. It's going to be really hard to replace her. Despite the good players we have on the bench, come in, it's just going to be different now.
definitely. Hashtag Fuerza Diana. The
Yeah.
club has also tweeted that out too. So speedy recovery to her. Dylan, I know our ladies have doble jornada coming up. Do we know who our next opponent is?
Oh, crap. No, I don't. I
Oh
forgot.
man, I'm putting
I
him on the
had
spot. I thought he would have already had it.
I had to restart my computer and I forgot to pull it back up. Oh, Lobos. Lobos is next. Lobos is next.
So the ladies have Lobos, the men have Lobos.
Just time
I
to
mean,
time to tame some lobos now.
time to tame some Lobos now. Perfectly well said. So when is that game? Wednesday?
I'll say it tomorrow.
Oh
I would
shoot. Yeah,
imagine
that
that
is
or
the one.
Thursday.
Yeah. I'm trying as fast as I can to pull it up.
Well, as soon as we figure that out right now, we'll give you
Yeah,
guys more correct
tomorrow
information.
at 4.
Tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central Time. That means 5 p.m. your time, Christian. And that means 3 p.m. my time as well. So a lot of Lobo action going on Wednesday. And then, of course, Saturday for the men's. And we'll get into that right now. But make sure you guys do wake up tomorrow. First thing you do, you grab your phone, you go to Twitter, and you put hashtag Lady Aguilas. Let's go. They need our support. They need it more now than ever, especially after losing a great player like Diana. They're on a roll, hopefully, and they can continue to get some good momentum going. And ladies, as always, we're behind you. We're proud of you, and keep proving these Eagle Eye boys right in the sense that we believe in you, and hopefully the community is behind you as much as we are. So as well, hashtag Lady Aguilas, and let's go get that victory.
Woo!
Are you gonna tweet out the thing you do every time the Lady Aguilas play?
Hashtag Lady Aguilas.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, I just told
Yeah.
everyone to do it right now. Where
Oh,
were
did you?
you?
Oh shit. Oops, sorry. Oh my goodness. I'm
Oh
just
my gosh.
I'm just very, very excited to tame some lobos this week.
Hashtag tame some Lobos this week has to
Oh, there you go.
also
That's
be
better.
that one has to also be on the schedule for you guys to tweet out. So make sure you guys do
Mhm.
go and do that. All right, ladies, we wish you guys the best of luck. Now we're gonna move on into our final segment of the episode, America versus Lobos preview. But before I get there, our good friend Mr. Emperor Palpatine has asked us, where is the FIFA tournament at? Now we mentioned to
Mm.
you guys last week that if we were thinking about, no, not last week, but I think it was 2 weeks ago, in regards to a FIFA tournament for the community. I am finalizing the details, and we are going to set a vote as to whether or not you guys are going to want to actually do this or not. And we're going to see on what platforms. If there's enough people do it on both platforms, we will definitely do it for both platforms. I know Christian is on PS4, Dylan is on Xbox One. I can be on either console. We'll have to wait and see whether or not we can have both of them going on. And then, of course, uh, if we get enough entries, we can, start a whole league and a whole situation, and I'll be able to break it all down to you guys. So make sure you guys are following us on Twitter and Instagram, because we will have you guys informed with everything possible in regards to this FIFA tournament. There will be a voting poll whether or not you guys want to go ahead and do it, and you guys will have to comment as well what platform you guys want to be on, and then from there we'll get the numbers and we'll get everything going, and then hopefully we can get you guys into this whole FIFA tournament, which I think would be a very interesting. There's some come up with a great rule, in regards to what players we can pick, how we're going to do this, and everything like that. So stay tuned to Twitter, and hopefully you guys are excited for this FIFA tournament. Let us know in the live chat and on Twitter, on Instagram. Make sure you guys follow us at Eagle Eye Podcast. Again, that is at Eagle Eye Podcast. Follow us for more information on that, and we'll keep you guys posted. And we'll also let you guys know whether or not what we're going to be playing for in regards to that FIFA tournament. So, with that said, gentlemen, America versus Lobos this Saturday. How are we feeling about this? After two terrible games.
I want to say nervous. I don't know, to be honest. I want to say curious, but that wouldn't be the right word either. I don't know. It's gonna be surprising, I guess, to see how we come out in the first couple of minutes. See if we wanna be the ones dictating the whole game, dictating tempo. Really letting Lobos know that, okay, listen, I know we're in a little bit of a poor form, but we're still America and we're still gonna come with everything. So it should be interesting.
Dylan, do you think that this is an opportunity for America to really stamp some I can't even say the word, some authority in regards to how to say, look, we're the champions. We're not to be messed around with. We're still gonna go, and we're still gonna beat anyone who steps into our pitch.
Not really. To be honest, I think most people are like, "Oh, it's just Lobos." At the end of the day,
Okay, but it's a good stepping stone, right?
um,
Look, at the end of the day,
see.
America needs to
Okay,
win, right?
well, yeah, but like I'm kind of like Christian. Like I'm on the fence about this. Like
Okay,
whatever the outcome is, whatever the outcome is, like I'm not gonna be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised by any outcome, and so just kind of like about it, I guess.
but okay, so yes, I agree. We're all kind of on that same, like, I don't know, we could lose, we could win, but nothing would really shock us. But America needs to win. If America does not win, if America loses, all of Twitter will start calling for some heads. If America draws, all of Twitter will start questioning whether or not we're doing things right. If America wins, all of Twitter will start saying it's just Lobos, right?
Right.
That's around.
Yeah.
I'm giving you
No.
a sense of what the ballpark might be here,
Hmm.
right? But heads will turn if America loses this game against Lobos.
Oh yeah, if America loses this, you're gonna
I'm
start
calling.
everyone asking for Piojo's head now. A couple of players being benched. It's gonna be very interesting. But I hope that doesn't happen. I hope we come out with the victory because we really need it right now. Boost our confidence, get the morale back, get the form back. So hoping for the best, not hoping for the worst.
Yeah,
I've even been calling for Ivan's head to quit as host.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. I feel like at this point, me and Piojo are on that same level. Like if Piojo goes, I feel like people will start calling for me to go as well. I'm a little worried about that.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And you know what? He's not even having my back on this one.
Who?
You.
Oh yeah. I mean, my secret plot is me overthrowing you and taking over the pod.
I
There
knew
you
it.
go.
I knew it. But let's talk a little bit about Lobos Buap and inform the people on how they're coming along. And then we'll talk about the players themselves and exactly whether or not these players are fit enough in their head to come out and really contest, or whether or not they're just gonna think, "Oh, it's Lobos, it's gonna be whatever's." But we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait
Hmm.
and see. So Lobos, Christian, what are the last couple of results coming into this game?
Okay, so Lobos Buap has I think has been a little bit of a off form. I guess off form is a little bit good to say. They won their last game against Querétaro 3-1. Prior to that, they got steamrolled by Monterrey 4-0. Had a couple draws in Copa MX and Liga. I mean, Lobos is Lobos, but it's just the way that they're playing right now that some of these games could have gone either way. They're very very good team oriented. They're very very team oriented. They like to play together a lot. Their formation is a little bit peculiar, but I guess that's what throws a little bit some teams off. But yeah, this is no walk in the park though. They've been looking decent, not stellar, but they've been looking decent. No, we need to be on our toes for this one.
You know what? That's interesting, and let me just address a comment that I just saw right now. Miss Cari Torres say Lobos 2, America 0. If you excuse me for a moment, I'm gonna go back to Twitter and block her. I hadn't blocked her since yesterday, but I'm gonna go back and block her. So basically, what you're saying is, that Lobos is coming in as Lobos.
Basically, yeah, but I guess a more. It's a weird team because they can surprise you at any moment, but it's just the little things that they do loses them the games or doesn't win them the games, if that makes sense. There's they have an interesting attack with Leo Ramos being their star player this season. He's been on fire,
Mm-hmm.
scoring goals left and right, and that's the biggest threat. And when he gets a ball, when he gets a little bit of a chance, he can cause havoc. We can't sleep on him.
We can't. We really can't. So Dylan, how hearing this and seeing some of these results, how are you feeling about this Lobo side?
I mean, like Christian was saying, they got the star player Ramos. He's one to find the back of the net. I know our defenses have been on the shaky side here recently too. Um, so I mean, it just kind of like still there on the fence, like what America side are we gonna get? Then I'm like, what Lobo side are we gonna get? I think it's gonna all come down to mistakes really, and seeing who makes the mistakes and who capitalizes on those mistakes.
Makes the less mistakes.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. Now, usually this is the part where I ask you guys to give me your information, but before that, I want to announce that we have some pretty breaking news in regards to the team that could possibly be featuring against Lobos WAP, and that is a certain Frenchman by the name of Jeremy Menez looks like could be on his way back to the pitch even earlier than expected.
I'll say
Of
it
course,
this weekend.
yeah, could be
Um,
in the bench for this weekend against Lobos WAP.
could
What do you guys
that
think about that?
that's the big word
That's the
is
key term.
could. Yeah, it's
That's the key
could.
term.
I actually DM'd one of my friends down in Mexico, and the rumor is that it's still not 100%. Like this today in practice, he looked good. He was playing with the whole team. Um, Nothing to freak out. Please don't freak out. But he little bit of discomfort. Little bit of discomfort. I'm not gonna lie, a little bit of discomfort from Inesa, but there's nothing to be worried about. It's probably just because he hasn't been playing as much or hasn't been training with the whole team. Um, I don't think he'll be on the bench this weekend, but definitely for next week. But if he is for this weekend, there's the interesting thing because then we are over one foreign player and now we need to send someone to the stands um if that is the case. If Menez does want to be on the bench,
I like how you put it. If Menez wants to be on the bench, it's not like
or
whether
if Menez
Puma
is on
says
the
it or
bench. My
not.
bad. My bad. If Menez is on the bench,
But that would be interesting to see.
yeah.
That
So
would be interesting to see.
it's very interesting to see what's gonna happen because if Menez is on the bench and one foreign player has to leave, and who can that foreign player be? And you take one out and it alternates your whole starting 11. So it's gonna be interesting.
Definitely, definitely. Now here comes the interesting thing about it, gentlemen. Give me your predicted lineup. Dylan, I'm going with you first.
Ooh.
What do you expect the starting 11 to be this Saturday against Lobos Buap?
Why do you hate me? Oh, okay. Marchesín, Bal, Bruno, Aguilera, yeah. Sanchez, Ibarra, Edson, Guido.
You're missing a left back.
No, I didn't.
No, you
Yeah.
didn't. He said Sanchez.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that.
Mm-hmm.
So rude. Now I have to start all over because you ruined my train of thought. Let's see. Dare I say Clemente? Do I dare say it?
In goal?
Dare I say it? In goal? What?
Well, you said you
I'm,
started all over again.
no, I'm not starting all over. I'm not starting all over. Um, I dare say Clemente starts, and then I bet it's let's see. I bet it's Nico and Henry.
Nico and Henry. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Mine's a little bit different.
That's interesting. Christian, go. Give me your lineup.
Okay, this is far fetched, but I know it's not gonna happen. But I'll just give it out there. I'll have Marchesin in net, Aguilar, Bruno Valdez, Aguilera, Jorge Sanchez, Renato Ibarra, Essen Alvarez, Guido Rodriguez, Andres Ibargüen, Nicolas Castillo, and Nicolas Benedetti.
So you're starting both the Nicos.
Yeah, both Nicos. Yeah, we're playing with one striker up top.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I don't think the double striker is working anymore. Benedetti looks like someone that can create chances for Castillo, and that's what he needs. He needs the balls fed to him. This is the perfect chance. I mean, if you really want to play the double striker, I guess I would take out Edson Alvarez, put in Benedetti there, and then put Henry up top with Nicolas Castillo. That seems more probable, but that's not the way I would play that.
so then you're saying technically 4-2-3-1.
4-3-2-1. That's
What?
Wait, is that what you said?
4-2-3-1.
4-2-3, 4-2-3.
4-2-3-1. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yes.
Okay. I would like to see that.
Mhm.
I think a lot of us on the chat would like to see that. But you're right. I think it's a bit far fetched. I don't think we're going to see that. I think we're going to be a lot more closer to Dylan, except I don't think Clemente starts. I think Ibarra starts.
Yeah, I think Ibarra starts too.
Now, here's the question. Does Menes feature on the bench? Dylan?
I think my lineup says it. I mean, does it not? I mean,
So
if Henry
Menes
starts,
doesn't.
then I think Menes does feature on the bench.
Oh,
Because because to be honest, like I'm not gonna be dumb. Like Nico came, I think Henry goes to the bench, but I think that's like possibilities there.
Okay. Christian?
I don't think he features the bench.
So one of you says yes, the other one says no. I think he does.
Tiebreaker. He does. Okay.
Yeah, I think he does. I think he does. And
Okay. Now here's my question for both of you. Who's going to the stands?
Roger.
Roger. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's Roger. That's it. Yeah, that like I said, if that's if Mendes makes the bench. If he doesn't, then I'll be honest. I think Roger starts with Nico.
Okay, so now you've completely switched it
Yeah,
up on.
there's just so many variations because we have
Yeah.
we're such an offensive team and so much offensive players that it's kind of hard to nitpick this. But like I said, I really don't like Etan Alvarez and Guido Rodriguez there, but it's probably the most probable thing that's gonna happen. And it kind of, yeah, I just don't like it, to be honest.
Well, one thing is for certain. Miss Cari Torres thinks Henry Martin will start. Edgar Hernandez says that Benedetti and Henry should start up front. That's an interesting one.
Yeah,
We
that
got
is
Mr.
interesting.
Carlos Diaz, out there saying, I can't really say exactly what he's saying.
It is a good problem to have when everyone's in form, though.
Yeah.
You know, like if you have forms like Ranto Ibarra's form right now, and the way Ibarra's playing, and the way Roger has been playing, and the way Nico Castillo has been, playing, because he hasn't been playing as much, but what he contributed right now, it's a little bit messy because these are players that are supposed to be performing day in day out, and right now we don't really have a substitute for them, and it's a little bit concerning.
Now, our good friend Mr. Carlos Serna saying that's a good problem to have, though, right?
I just talked about it. I just said yes, it is, but when they're all in form,
And that's the situation is
none of them
none
are
of
in
them
form.
are informed.
None of them are in form. Yes, exactly.
You know what? It's fine. Actually, it's not fine because look, it's a jornada 8 at this point, and I think I've said it time and time again. You should have had already a set starting 11. You should have already had a set style of play, and you should have already been playing a set style
But
and
the
as a set
problem,
team.
right? But the problem is the refuerzos came late. They're just being
Yeah,
thrown into right now, and returning players coming back. We still have Oribe Parate and Mateo Siribu to come back. Now, where the
Yeah.
hell are they gonna fit in?
I mean, Oribe has no problem fitting in. I mean, he's
Okay,
Mexican.
but when Uribe comes back in, what other foreign player hits the stands?
Yeah.
Mm.
That's that's where it gets interesting, And yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good problem to have, but I guess
Aguilera
right now
probably.
when you're not in, I would say Aguilera too, but
Yeah.
yeah, I guess when you're not informed, you're gonna get the boot, so it could be a
My
good
head
thing in the
hurts.
long run. Yeah, it's gonna be a headache come maybe another 11-12 when everyone is ready to play. And
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the Clásico is coming up much quicker than expected.
and
It's
that's
in
a
like three
problem,
weeks.
and that's a
That's in three
problem.
weeks.
But that's a problem. I don't think as much as it pains me to say this, but Chivas is in much better form than we are right now, and it's the way we're playing right now. I wouldn't count my blessings right now. I would start counting my blessings right now.
We're the much better team in paper, by no means necessary.
Okay,
I mean,
but
by
we
no doubt
but
about it. But
Chivas is playing as a team. When have we played as a team this season?
that's where I was going at. If you let me finish.
he jumped at you, bro.
Yeah.
He jumped at you. That's funny.
No, because look, what is the one thing that they did right? Is they got their signings in early and done. What is the
Yeah.
one thing that we did wrong? We waited last minute, last second to bring in two players, and that's disrupted our whole system and our whole play. And because of that, now we're playing catch up when we should have already been all cut up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the truth. That's the
But
reality.
but
So
thankfully for us that we still have about 3 to 4 weeks left, and I think in those 3 or 4 weeks we should see I hope we do see a greater improvement from both Nikos and Ibarra as well. Wow, that's a lot of players we have out of form. Um,
Yeah.
they just need to get the ball rolling again because like you said, the more important games are coming up. We still have Chivas, we still have Cruz Azul, we still have a Toluca that can be a little bit dangerous.
we still have
Santos at the end of the
Tigres.
season, Tigres we still have exactly. And we still have our game in hand against Necaxa, who hasn't been doing anything bad. Well, they haven't been bad, but they're still a good team that we still have to play them.
And don't forget, we also still have Veracruz. So that's not
Like
even.
I said, so we do have a couple teams left that we need to worry about, but it's just important that we get the ball rolling very soon.
Dylan, do you think America loses to Veracruz this season?
Yeah, dude. 10-0.
Watch that come
We're
true, and people are gonna start hating us.
nah,
No,
they'll hate
but
me.
no. Well, you'll somehow manage to say it was me saying that. Come that podcast.
That's true.
We have a lot a lot to work on, and I think that it starts off here against Lobos. I think this needs to be the catalyst. This needs to be what drives the team forward, and you have everything. You literally have everything possible to make it happen. You're at
Mhm.
home, in front of your home. You know, you don't have to travel. You don't have Copa Mekis this week. You have 100% all the time to focus on this league game.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I think it's perfect. It's perfect. It's the right moment. It's the moment that you're looking for. So go out there and prove it, and start demonstrating it. So hopefully we get the right movement. I know you said it was Dylan. You said that it's the team that can capitalize on the other team's mistakes that's going to come out on top. In regards to tactics, because I don't really think that's a tactic to wait for another team to make a mistake.
Mhm.
Well, I think there is a tactic to force a team to make a mistake. So, are we predicting for America to press high and then to really dig into Lobos's defense and to try to put them under pressure?
I
But
mean,
for how long?
I would hope so. We have the players to do it. Like I keep reiterating, I think we're just wasting a spot having Edson Alvarez and Guido Rodriguez play there and double contention. I think just let Guido Rodriguez do his thing, free up that other spot for another offensive player like Benedetti to play in. It could make wonders. Benedetti knows how to play that position. He can create. We've seen little snips of it, and just imagine what he can do with more time on the pitch.
Agreed. Agreed. Anything else that in regards to tactics that America needs to do in order to score a goal or even prevent a goal?
No, I think you covered it well. Just we need to just press high. Don't let them settle into the game. Make them always wonder what they need to do next. Don't let them feel comfortable, especially in your own stadium.
Definitely, definitely. I think it's as simple as that, and don't take your foot off the gas pedal, even if you're up 3
Hmm.
0
Yeah, exactly. Keep going. Let them beat them 7-0 if you have to. Something for morale, confidence. I think our good friend Chicken Little said in the match. We have Lobos, Morelia, Necaxa, and Puebla up next. Those are definitely winnable games, and we need to at least aim for 12 for 12. I think that's the expectation going into these 4 games. You drop one or tie against one. It's not looking good right now. We really need to win all these next 4 games if we really want to be serious contenders. Because right now we're not looking like one right now.
And Carlos Diaz said at least 10 points from these next 4 games, and that's at least. At
That's at
least.
least. I don't even like 10. I want 12 for 12. This team needs to be
I want
back.
12 for 12 too, but I'll tell you what, I don't see America walking away with 3 points
I see him
in
12 for
Morelia.
12, but I think it depends. It starts this Saturday.
Morelia's never been an easy place for us, and we'll talk about it next
Right,
podcast too.
right.
But I've never felt comfortable going to Morelia.
No, we're okay. That's understandable. But I feel like if we see a different America this Saturday, I just think they'll feed off that momentum. I think they only can get better from this. Just need to get over this hump, I guess. But it needs to happen this Saturday, or else I just don't really see. Because if we don't get the result this Saturday, and I'll agree, we're not getting. Obviously, we're not getting the 12 points. But then I just don't think we'll get any decent results in the next couple of games.
Understandable, Dylan.
I hit it off. I really did. I was
He
just
wasn't even paying
listening. Like,
attention. He
no,
was playing
y'all were just
Fortnite
going
right
off.
now,
You're on
and
Fortnite, Dylan?
No, I'm messing
Oh,
with my student ID.
that's
nice.
not true. That's not even his student ID. He actually forges student IDs for students who want to come and party. Isn't that right, Dylan? You're
No,
making fake IDs on campus.
Cowboy didn't do that.
I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. All right, then, gentlemen. So then, if that's the tactics, and I think that's agreeable. America needs to press high. America needs to stay compact, and America needs to not overuse the wings and learn to play through the middle. Depending on who starts, of course, will be important. But an early goal I think is needed. Whether it's Henry, whether it's Nico, whether it's Roger, whether it's Clemente, whoever it is, and whoever starts, I think an early goal is needed.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
we'll
First
have to wait and
15
see.
minutes.
First 15 minutes would be ideal.
That's
First
very
15 minutes
ideal.
would be
Mhm.
ideal.
I think if you see that, I think you'll start to see America take control of the game. They take tempo, move the ball around, and that's what we need, man. We have such a great offensive team. We just need to bring out the best in everybody, and if we can do that, I honestly don't think we can be stopped if all of us are in form. And I think that's the goal we need to strive for in these next couple of games, to show that we are that force to be reckoned with.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. We'll definitely have to wait and see.
But this
Alrighty
team
then.
struggled. This team struggled doing that though. If you think about it, I mean, how many times have we came on here like, okay, the team did exactly what Christian said for the whole first half. Then we're in the second half. It's always this dreaded second half for the team. I mean, this team cannot carry over what they did in the first and the second half majority of the time. And shoot,
And
they can't even do it most of the time in the first half. That's
so
just the
then, is
thing.
this the game to actually start doing it?
But how many times have we really said that too? A lot too in the past. So I mean, you still you still have those questions embedded in you still. I mean, just because they show it, if they show it this game, that doesn't mean they're gonna go out and do it the following week
That's true.
True.
because we've seen this team fluctuate
That is
plenty of
true.
times,
But
plenty of times.
at least it'll give them some confidence and some,
Yeah,
it's like, I guess, idea of how, how to take on the next couple of games.
yeah, no doubt. It's just that we've never seen this team do it that often or
Consistently. Yeah, yeah.
consistently. Yeah, consistently. Again, I'm sounding like a broken record, but that's just the bottom line because Stone
Yeah.
Cold said so, and that's just how it's gonna go.
hmm No, you're right. Well, I guess hope for the best then.
Yep. I mean, at this point, yeah, we kind of have to, right?
Yeah. But hopefully the things start going well for us on Saturday.
Alrighty then. Well, with that said, prediction time. Christian, I'll throw it
Oh
to you
no.
first. What are you going?
You know what? I have full faith in this team. I really hope Herrera surprises me with something. I'm gonna go 3-1.
3-1. Okay, Dylan.
I'm guessing 2-1.
2-1. You were about to say 2-2. You were about to say 2-2.
I don't want to. I don't want to. I'm not gonna go there no more. I said it. We're done.
2-1. Okay. 2-1. 2-1. Um, you know what? I'm going
1-0.
I'm going for 2.
4-2. Okay.
For 2.
Whoa, whoa! Hold your horses, partner. Hold your
4-2.
damn
Damn,
horse.
you really see our defense shaky, huh?
For real? You really see this offense lighting it up?
I don't know. I something tells me 4-2. 4-2.
Are you holding on to the bull for 8 seconds too?
You want to hear what EA Sport had to say? Because they're holding on to the bull for 10 seconds.
Let's hear it.
EA Sports has predicted that America will lose 2-0 at home against Lobos Buap.
Wow.
Where's Scotty? Scotty, you get el gancito.
Yikes. Well,
Now, should we be worried about that? Last time they predicted that Leon won.
yeah, but those are predicted we won last week and we didn't win.
I mean,
Shame on you, EA Sports.
I said 2-2, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised at any outcome at this point.
I mean,
Obviously, we're hoping for the win. We're predicting
Obviously,
the win.
obviously. But if I'm being all honest, I'm not surprised at any outcome.
okay, wait, hold on. Let me ask a question here. You guys, I'm seeing a lot of 2 thrown around for Lobos Buap. That's very interesting. Now, if 2 does go in for Lobos Buap, because we haven't conceded 2 since the Monterrey game. I mean, this is the Leon game. I meant, my bad. What the hell? Since the Leon game, do you guys think maybe it's time for a defensive switch? Maybe put Edson Alvarez back in center back position?
Yes and no. The only reason I say
Mid-
no is because he's so used to that midfield role now that whenever you stick
Yeah.
him into that center back spot, he looks lost.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Just yeah. I mean, we've conceded 4 goals in the last 2 games.
That's understandable. We knew what we were getting with Aguilera and Bruno Valdez. Let's not kid ourselves. They
You're
had
right.
a tremendous Liga, but come on, we knew what we were getting ourselves into.
No, you're right.
But we'll have to wait and see. But of course, everyone else is predicting America to win except EA Sports and Cari. So it's 2 against the world. And something tells me those two have a pretty good, decent chance, depending, like you said, Dylan, depending on what America side we get
And what Lobo side we get?
and what local side we get as well. All right, then, gentlemen, just last question before we wrap up the show. Who scores? Who, not who scores, but who has the man of the match for you guys?
Mm,
Or who has to be your man of the match?
for me, there has to be the striker, whoever is there. I don't care if it's Roger, Henry, or Nico. They have to be the man of the match. I need to see goals. We haven't scored in 2 games, and I miss yelling goal in front of my TV. So I want to see a goal.
Christian? I mean, Dylan?
I like to see Vada do more.
That is true.
Okay. Understandable.
So
Understandable. Emperor Palpatine is with you on that one as well.
yeah.
So I'll have to wait and see. I will agree with you, Christian. I need to see a striker have a good game. I need a
Mhm.
striker to do well, and
Yeah.
whoever it is gonna have to go out there and do it. So
Hmm.
let's uh let's hope we can scream a couple of goals, and let's hope EA Sports does not get the result right with Gotti, and let's hope it's a blowout. Let's hope for a
I
7-0.
I really hope it's a blowout too.
You know, let's just hope so. Let's definitely hope so for that.
Down.
All right, then, gentlemen, we come to the end of the show. As always, it's been a pleasure. And to address our good friend, Mr. Carlos Diaz, asking us when is the next viewing party, that will most likely be next month. We're still trying to see how we could improve from the last viewing party. Actually, huge shout out to Mr. Carlos Diaz, everyone in the chat who came with his beautiful, lovely family and brought us balloons as well to kind of liven up the place as well. So thank you, Mr. Carlos Diaz, for coming out and being a fantastic representative of the community and really showcasing what it is to be an Americanista out here. And we'll let you guys know about the next viewing party and whether or not it's still be at Larry's or where if the location will change and all that stuff. We'll let you guys know as much as well. We'll let you guys know about the FIFA tournament coming up as well. So we have a couple of things on our plate that we're trying to, kind of figure out, get things all sorted out with that as well. I know we promised you guys a couple of different giveaways as well for the YouTube, for the Instagram and all that stuff. So we're getting things situated. We're getting ourselves kind of all assorted in that aspect. So be a little bit patient with us, and then and we'll get you guys all that information. And well, with that said, gentlemen, anything else you want to say before we wrap up the show?
I'm good.
I think I'm good. I think we covered everything.
All righty. Okay, then. Well, it looks like these two don't have much more to say. It's a little bit late for them. I don't blame them. Well,
So how about you say something, Mr. Host?
okay. I will. I will. Shout out to the ladies again for getting 3 points, and good luck to them tomorrow. Don't forget to use the hashtag Lady Aguilas and get yourself, get yourselves behind the ladies so they know that we're out there supporting them. Make sure you guys do follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and all the platforms for SoundCloud, iTunes, and Spotify. If you guys ever miss a show, you guys can always find us there. And if you guys are listening to this on iTunes, SoundCloud, or Spotify, we urge you guys to come to the live shows. They're great fun, and who can forget trivia as well. So at the end of the day, I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves, and follow us on Twitter for any live updates on all things regarding America and all things regarding the podcast as well. And well, have yourselves a wonderful, beautiful night. We'll see you guys very soon. Hope you guys have enjoyed the show. We'll see you guys again next week on Tuesday. And then, as always, we'll keep you guys updated. So have yourselves a wonderful night. Gentlemen, thank you again for coming on, being wonderful co-host.
It's my favorite day of the week. I love this.
Whoop whoop.
All right, with a whoop-de-whoop back to you and a whoop-de-whoop to everyone else. Good night. We'll see you guys very soon on Saturday and tomorrow as well. Updates for the ladies. And well, with that said, have a good night. As always, Arriba la America. Goodbye.